Hello, this is Margie, and this is your second session of the A to Z training for the second quarter of 2019. And you are looking at a big slide that says LinkedIn, your profile page. That's what we're talking about today. And it's key to all your LinkedIn success, just like it says here, the hub of all your LinkedIn success. So we've got lots to share this morning. And again, as always, you just want to sit back and be aware. You might take a few notes, but don't be note intensive. Don't try to absorb it all because you'll get left behind. But I want you just to be aware, acknowledge, just have, this will be introduced to some of you. Some of you will know pieces of the profile page, but learn other things. Just become aware. Again, my analogy is the new shopping mall in town. You're just scrolling through to see what's there. You take note of some things that hit you, and you'll come back and dive into them in detail. And you will get the recordings by tomorrow. And that's when you can go in and take your notes, and you can stop it and absorb and come back to it or whatever, okay? So I hope that helps. But let me find, you never find those arrows for, there we go, to the next slide here. So one way to look at LinkedIn, it's not your normal social network site, like Facebook or Twitter. You might look at it as a social search engine, okay? And it has been proven that the strongest and the highest quality and the most long-term success comes if you approach LinkedIn with the intention of building relationships. Yes, you will see ads and you will get these messages with people throwing their business at you. Those people don't last long. They're playing a numbers game. But the quality of the people and the quality of your experience is going to be if you come into LinkedIn with the intention of building relationships. And LinkedIn helps you do that in so many different ways, which is what this course is all about. So you're going to be meeting lots of new people. You want to put your best foot forward from the very beginning. And I think I mentioned last week, LinkedIn is where you can go after people aggressively or just within the rhythm of the day. And you can also be found within the rhythm of the day, or if you're very, very passive, you can still be found on LinkedIn. It suits all types of personalities and comfort zones. And if you, either way, going after or being found, the profile page is the hub. All communications go through the profile page if the going after and being found is successful. And you might look at your profile page as being your virtual you. If I didn't have a website, I would use my LinkedIn profile page probably and never have a website. I have a few landing pages out there, but there's so much information on the LinkedIn profile page. It is just a rich, rich resource. And you want to look at it as your personal business brand. This is you. This is not your company. There's a company page for your business brand and your company. Your profile page is your personal business brand, and it's you speaking to your visitors, okay? Not your company speaking, but it's you and your business attire, but it's you speaking to your visitors. It's SEO friendly, and it's indexed in Google. So if nothing else, if you wanted to do nothing with LinkedIn, you would want to have your profile page filled out, because I don't know if you've ever Googled your name or somebody else you've Googled, and if they have a LinkedIn account, the majority of times the LinkedIn profile page will come up in the top 3 results. And so you want to have a good presence. You want to fill it out, again, if for no other reason, for when people Google your name, okay? And the profile page is your golden key, again, to all that happens on LinkedIn, all right? It's also one of the criteria for appearing in the LinkedIn search results. You'll learn more about that as we go forward. But a well-filled out profile page is one of the factors, just one, but it's a factor, an important one, of coming up high when somebody searches for people on LinkedIn. Okay, so let's get over to LinkedIn in this show here and get to my LinkedIn home page, which again, when you log in, you land on your home page. And there's 2 ways to get to your profile. You can go to this left-hand column here, anything on the top here, any in this space here, click on it, will take you to your profile page. And also under the Me drop-down, there's a link here, View Profile. It takes you right there. Okay, there you are. And I'm just going to give you a little overview of it and then come back and go through the details with you. Everyone has a headline, a header image. I always call it a headline, which is, this is a headline. But you have an image and you have a headline, which I'm going to dive into deeply with this, 120 characters that are going to make you or break you. So stay tuned. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'll go into detail. And your basic information, where you work, some contact information. And then there's an About section. It used to be called a summary. They just changed it to About. And you can open it up. It has 2,000 characters capability. So it's a lot of information you put together about yourself. And it holds media. And then you have, only for you to see as a dashboard, you get to see how many people are looking at your profile and a little bit about your activity. And then you come down and it gives you your actual, everyone can see this, your actual activity on LinkedIn. You post your articles, what you liked, what you said happy birthday to, everything is in here, okay? And your experience, your past experience. We're going to talk about how that works on the LinkedIn profile page. Your education, your licenses and certifications. They have spaces dedicated to patents you might have, publications. I'm going to show you all those headers and sections. Volunteer experience, your skills and endorsements, which is an opportunity to get some key keywords onto your profile page, and recommendations, testimonials, and then accomplishments, they call it, organizations you belong to, courses you've taken, and then your interest. I mean, it's endless. So much information, and you'll learn why that's important as we go forward. Interest, though, one thing to point out, it's a conglomeration here of 3 different things. If you click See All, you're going to see it's in people that you were following. They call them influencers, like Richard Branson, and I don't know why. I guess he's got a lot of followers, Arianna Huffington. Companies, groups, and schools. So they're filtered when you click See More, but they're a combination when they show up on the bottom of your profile page. Okay, and then so that's the profile page. So there's a lot of room for a lot of information. So how do you get started doing it? All right, so that's what today is all about. So this header image up here can be a variety of different things. Depends on your business, your personality. You don't want it to be the whole profile page. You don't want it to say what, everything that you do up there. You want it to enhance the profile page. You want it to complement and be part of the profile page, whatever way you can do that. So my brand is very simple, very clean. I'm all about good, clear connections. And I kept it very simple. Another factor to consider when you're creating it is how it looks on your phone. On my phone, my image goes to the middle, so it's sitting right underneath there. So that's why this is so high. Okay, if I put it down here on my phone, it would be covered. So those are some of the things to take into consideration. I'm going to show you some so you can get some ideas of what you can use. You do want to use something because the default is not very attractive, and people know at this point that it is the default, and it looks like you just didn't want to take the effort and type in her name. Okay, and some of you might have this as your image. This is the default, and it looks like, I always think of the Big Dipper when I see this, the sky and the Big Dipper on a blue sky. But it's a default, and it's been out there long enough now that people are pretty aware. So what are your other choices? Pretty much anything. Some people will just use scenery if that complements what you're about. Maybe you're a psychologist, and you know, just some peaceful scenery or something, you know, flowers, anything nature-wise will work. But I'm going to show you some of these. A lot of effort was put into them, but there was a lot of thought as well. And I have these names that they're just too far down, so let me type in her name. Okay, here we go. This is a lovely header image with a lot of thought put into it. She obviously had a graphic designer do it. She's got two images of herself, but they complement each other, and they're on both sides. So I haven't looked at this on the phone. I don't know if this moves over on her layout here, and if this disappears. But again, it's very lovely, and it says Lead to Energize, Executive Coaching, Leadership Coaching, Career Coaching. Right there, it sizes her up. And she even has her logo. It says she has a lot on there, but it looks very together, and it's very nice. And it's a nice lead-in to the rest of her page. So that's one idea. Geraldine Summers is a hard money lender, and if you know what that is, that means that people usually want money fast. And so I'm showing you her header image because she has her phone number on it, and it's down here. It's subtle, but it's there. Don't recommend that you put your phone number. It's not meant to be an ad. It's not meant to be aggressive. But in her business, where it's all about being available and delivering fast and easy access, fast access, it works as a complement to her business, okay? And it's small. It's not huge, call me now. It's there for convenience. It's there for people to see it and be able to pick up the phone and call her. And this is her logo, so it's very nicely done. I know she did have a graphic artist help her with that. Linda QB Russell does QuickBooks for larger companies, and she just got a picture of money, and that's what she's all about. She's about accounting, so it's very simple. And while I'm seeing it and noticing it, this green dot here, I think this was rolled out. I think it was on the pay for membership, and it's just been rolled out. You'll see a solid green amongst your connections or with a dot. Just quickly, I'm doing a little sidebar here. This means she's available on her cell phone. So if we sent her a message, she would be notified on her cell phone. If it's solid green, it means they're active on the site. But we'll talk more about that next week. But it just caught my eye, and I wanted to let you know what it was. But anyway, she's got money there. And very simple, and it's stock photo. But it works because it complements what she does. And this QBQ is QuickBook Queen. There were a lot of, this is something too when we get to the name, Linda, there were a lot of Linda Russells out there, so she distinguished herself with a QBQ. So we're going to talk names in a minute. A couple more of these header images. John Nemo, he's got the header image where you've done a lot of publicity, you know, you've been in the magazines, on the TV shows, whatever. This is very attractively done. Sometimes they're very, very messy. And he's got online courses, books, and coaching there. So it's very nicely done. He's cleaned it up from what it was. It was all over the place, and you'll see a lot of them all over the place when they're trying to get in all the TV channels and stuff. So, again, you want it to complement everything. This one is very appropriate, and I'm surprised more people don't do it because it's true to what he does. I just saw it there. What happened to him? Listen. Listen with a row. Oh, come on. All right, hang on here. Liston. There he is. Okay. He's a speaker. There he is, speaking. How's that? What a concept. Very nicely done, and it fits right in there. And then this is one to pay attention to. It's a nice header image, but what's the message? Remember, we're delivering a message here. And he's got a very nice image, very pretty. Social selling, social recruitment, employee advocacy. What does that say? I'm kind of confused. I know what social selling is, but how does it fall into social recruitment, employee advocacy? If you're in that I have looked it up, and if you're in that industry, it would make sense. But if you're pursuing him from outside that industry, and if that's what he needs, or someone new in the industry might not know that, it's not very clear. It's kind of confusing. The image doesn't help you at all. Maybe these are people, but what's this? So as nice as it is, it's not complementing what the rest of the page is all about. It's not really helping him. It's causing a little bit of confusion. And if I haven't shared this with you, and especially for the new people, and by the way, welcome. We have some new people since last week, so welcome, welcome. And glad to have you on board. But the golden rule for all communication success, all online communication success, is to remove all need for your viewers to have to think, for your readers to have to think. Remove all need for anyone looking at your online communications, reading them, absorbing them, to have to think. It should be clear and just automatically zoom right in and connect with their mind, okay? That's the golden rule. And so be thinking of that whenever you do anything online. Okay, so that's the last header image I want to show you. So you can see that anything goes, and I'm going to go into the edit and you'll see how you load them. But I want to go through a couple of things first. Okay, so let me get back to my profile page. And then you have your header image, and you want to load up a header image. You don't want it to be your whole body. You're putting your photo up there for people to feel chemistry, know who they're talking to. If you have a distant shot of yourself, it doesn't help them. You're not helping yourself either. You want people that have you want to give people some type of familiarity with you, and there's such a thing, there's some benefit to chemistry. So they want to know who you're talking to. And that works especially if you're in a business where there's any type of hands-on or trust, financial goings on, or health spas, medical. You definitely want to open up the trust immediately and not leave that as an open end. And if someone doesn't connect with you, well, it's better that they don't do business with you then, okay? Find the ones that do are drawn to you. Okay, so the photo should be chosen for that purpose. And then I'm going to skip the name and just go down. I'm going to come back to that. I want to go down to the About section. What you need to know on, well, actually I want to go to the headline section first. I'm sorry. The headline section right here is 120 characters, include spaces. That is your calling card, okay? It's your calling card, and it is, it goes everywhere with you. I'll show you in a minute an example, but it should say what people get from you. Not, I see VP of Sales. Well, VP of Sales can be put at the end because VP of Sales one place is not a VP of Sales at the end, but at another place, I'm sorry. But the whole 120 characters should address quickly, and the most important result that you want people to know about should be up front, right at the beginning. So I've taken up to 45 minutes with people creating their headline. And you can change it. I change mine. I tweak it. I reverse orders and different things depending on what I'm looking for achieving. But you want to write it so that it is showing people what you're about. It follows you around. We go to the home page, and you can see, all I have to do is put my cursor on Erica's name. I'm not clicking. I just placed it. She wrote this post, and up comes her profile. But also right here is her headline. Private Wealth Advisor, Ameripose Financial Services, and Working Mother, and it goes on. But you get the key stuff right up front. If we continue down, we've got, that's a business, that's the post, Raya. I help women from age 35 plus stay healthy, weight, hormones, digestion. So she's talking here about her health, but even if she wasn't talking about health, I immediately see her headline and I know what she's about. So if I like what she's talking about anyway, I can say, what's Raya about, right? And I see that headline. And so you want to look at it as each profile page is an entrance to knowing more about each contact. So it's a door, okay? And you have to get through the door, and each door has a key. So this headline is your key, and you even see it. Let's find some comments here. You even see it when people leave comments on a post. You see it everywhere. Everywhere you show up or people show up on LinkedIn, there's a comment and there's the header. Okay, the name, the photo, and the header. Headline, I'm sorry. And it's right there. And that's LinkedIn's way of helping you be found, be seen. So take advantage of it. Put in there what people get from you. Mark your key. Make people big. I want that key. I want to reach out and use that key. Okay. So with that thought in mind, I'm going to show you some headlines, okay, and then we're going to go to the next step with this key. But just to get some ideas on headlines, we're going to go back to some of these same people. Liston has professional sales training for AMs, CSMs, and consultants. I don't know what those letters mean. Again, remove all need to think. So he could clean that up a little bit. And then he's got why. They want to sell more services. So that's okay. C. I give him C plus. Okay. Again, you don't want people to have to read it either. The more they can pick it up in a glance, the better. Okay. John Nemo, we're going to look at his headline, helping business coaches and consultants attract, engage, and sell to their ideal clients. You have to read it, but it's easy to read, very easy. And that first letter being capitalized makes a huge difference. The I follows it really quickly. He's got these little characters in here to space it out, so this online courses and coaching is a separate chunk of text to look at, okay? A little bit separates it from this long sentence. But he definitely tells you what he's about, all right? Roberta, okay, I'm mixing these up so you can get different ideas here. And this is one of the things you might want to come back and review with the video, these different examples. Roberta, she starts off with what makes sense if you know what she's talking about. If you come in cold, you don't. She's saying one-to-one advice, but that throws you off. At least it throws me off. And every time I come to her profile page, it throws me off again because I'm not expecting one-to-one there. Okay, so I would make that change. Plus, you've got to read advice to develop your executive brand, thought, leadership, and visibility. Advancing Women in Tech and Engineering. She's got the content, but it's not presented so that it's going to be caught. Her key is not, you have to really look at her key to understand what the key is about. It's there, but it's not quick to absorb and catch. But she's got one-to-one, which throws you off immediately. Advice to develop those first words don't address anything, and that's your primo space right there. She gets into it down at the end, and by that time, the person could have moved on. Okay, Helen Berman, she's a powerhouse. She might even be on the line. Hi, Helen, if you're there. But with her header, she's a powerhouse sales trainer. And she gets away with this. I would never recommend that you use all caps, but it works for her. So if it works, what happened? There she is. So because she's such a powerhouse, her style, this is just her. Sales trainer, strategist, marketing, communications, speaker, boom, boom, boom. That's Helen. So, and quick, short, to the point. And then we have, Jasmine. Jasmine is a good one. Let's see, is her name popping up? Do I have to type it in? Okay, Jasmine. She does several different things, and book writing coach is her main thing. That's her main business. But I help you start, finish, edit your book, nonfiction, fiction, memoir, blog, publishing advisor. She got a lot in there. She uses these little symbols which you can copy and paste. There's no editing on LinkedIn. It's upper and lowercase, and you can copy and paste little symbols. In the Facebook group is a web page that gives you different options for, and you can take them anywhere off the web. Just copy it and bring it over here and paste them. But she's got a lot in her header, okay, headline. And then Mick, let's go back to Mick. Is he still there? He is. Okay. Mick is, I introduce you to decision makers, trainers, social selling and recruitment, social media policy, and content creator. He's the one, he does have an image that pops up that isn't too clear, but his headline isn't very clear either. Decision makers for what? He can't possibly be connected to all decision makers. And again, that social selling and recruitment, I don't know why his picture isn't showing, but this is the one he had the picture with that was confusing, pretty but confusing. So he's done it right. He's got the little spacing in there. He's got the uppercase letter on the beginning of each word. He's done it right, but the messaging is still confusing, to me anyway. I don't know if you're catching on to it, but remove all gray. So that's how you want to work on your headline, okay? 120 characters. And I recommend you put them out in the Facebook group and get feedback from each other, and I'm happy to help you with it. Now, that's your key. So they grab onto the key and they come to your profile page, and the next main place they go is this About section here, which you can see more and open up. You have 2,000 characters here, and this is where they want to look at the nutshell. This is your who, what, why, and how in the nutshell, okay? This is what's going to make them turn the key. So they need to be able to see what's in your About section easily and on point, so they can catch the read from top to bottom online. And again, those first words on the left are what counts. So this is the only place I let you say I, except maybe in the headline. And because their purpose is to know who you are. So they'll connect with you saying I am. In all other cases, when you use I on the internet, you're getting in the way of your message. We'll talk about that in session 6. But you can say I am in the beginning part of your profile, and who you are, okay? I see links to buyers others miss and enable you to do so also. And then using the non-editing, so uppercase, work with me, and clarity, my first words, clarity and direction. I don't even need to finish the sentence. Clarity and direction, know how, what to say. Do they like that? Then they can go back and read it. How do we do it? Together. Study your business, define your goals, create strategies, mapping, messaging, choosing resources, implement. Haven't even gotten over here, but I'm carrying a message. Who I work with, boom. Specialty trainings. Again, the first words that come up should be there, and so forth. So you want it to be your who, what. John Nemo is the master of creating that format. He's taught a lot of people, including myself. And we'll look at his About section. And his About is, let's see more, what I do. And then you have to read it. But he's very famous. So people would take the time to read his sentences. Will people take the time to read the sentences? Most won't. If they don't know you, they'll move on to the next. But at least the format is here for you to look at. And again, he can get away with it. If you don't know many people, make it easy. Make it easy to be found. Make it easy to be connected with. So this would not work for the novice. It works for him, though. But what I do like and what I want to show you is his format. What I do, how I do it, why it works, services. And Linda QB Russell took his page to heart, and she applied it to her About section. And she's got what I do, how I do it, what others say, who I work with, why me, how to get started. And it works very nicely. She's got the bulleted, she's got one sentence up here, which is fine, short. But how I do it, step 1, free phone consulting, an online in-person meeting, submit a written proposal upon acceptance and receipt. So very, very simple. Other abouts, let's see. I want to show you, Helen. Again, Helen is again, she's that go-getter sales trainer, and she's got it laid out very nicely as your guide to sales success. Build on company strengths, laser beam, create the paths, translate sales goals, so forth. Their salespeople what their salespeople are going to get from her, okay? Why hire me? There should be a space there. Need a speaker? She speaks. Let's talk. So to the point, nicely laid out. Now, here's another sample of what isn't the best. Roberta, and she's excellent at what she does, but her about, this is nicely laid out. You have to read it. You have to read it. And some will take the time, many won't. So she misses out on all those people that won't. They don't turn her key. Her key isn't a great one to get people there anyway, but then if they got there, it's hard to know if they want to turn the key. They might move on to others. So I hope that helps you out, okay? So some thoughts on that. So that's the main gist. So let's go back and show you how you do it, okay? So this top part, you go to this little pencil here, and you click that, and that opens up a pencil for your header image. And they've changed this so that you can bring in an image and drag and reposition it, okay? And you can straighten, you can zoom in closer, zoom out. You can do some editing, filtering, and change the photo. But they do, if you notice, before you get to that point, when you go up here, I don't even have to click on it. It gives you the recommended size. Isn't LinkedIn nice? Facebook and Instagram, you have to go to Google and find out what's that size. Here it comes up, 1584 by 396 pixels recommended. Okay, and this is where you change your photo, your profile photo. And again, you can bring up any photo and pull out a piece of it. Okay, and I can't remember if they let's see, did they show the sample size? I don't think they give you a size here. No, because you can pull it out of a photo. But I think this one that I use is a square photo. I think I did a 300 by 300 or 250 by 250, if that helps you. Then your name. You can put, of course, your first and last name. If you want to add something in the middle, you can do it after the first name. If you want to add, I saw somebody, you know, I don't know if I can't decide if I like this or not. He copied and pasted a little red check mark after his last name, so he stands out in listings. Something to think about. This is where you can put your titles if you have degrees or a doctor or certification, practitioner of any kind. Put it after. But if you have your maiden name that people might know you by, you can put a former name in there, or vice versa. You've gone back to your maiden name here, and this was a former name, you can put that there. And this is where you put your headline, okay? Anything you fill in these fields goes live immediately, but it's 120 characters, including spaces, so you can work it that way. And your current position, it's going to be what we fill out further down in this, going through the page today. That'll come up automatically, but you can choose, there's a drop down, and you can choose. I have several things in my current business, and so they're all current, so I can choose which one I want to show up there. And we're going to go over that before the session's over. Your education, I have my high school and my college. I can choose either one. So I want to put my UMass up there. Country, zip code, United States, that you've got defaults, but by country, but for all the United States. The zip codes you can put in. What happened? Locations within this area, I actually live in Playa del Rey, but I can put Greater Los Angeles as a choice. I'd rather have LA up there. And industry is a drop down. You have to, I hope you find yourself in there because that's it. You have to find something. And then contact information. This is another pencil here. And the pencil is opening up to contact information in its section. You can have 3 website URLs. It can be your website. And remember, this is keyword sensitive. So it has the URL, and then you can also put a name with it. And your choices are the defaults, personal, company, blog, RSS, portfolio, or other. If you put other, you can type in whatever you want. So I've got Today's Way, TW, coaching and training, keywords, and also what the site is about, okay, within company website. My website URL, this is my blog, and because it's a blog, I just use the default blog. And then my website URL here is my LinkedIn company page, and I put other because it's all about my marketing services, and you're going to learn about that in session 5. And you can put Facebook there if you wanted to. There's another place for Twitter, so you wouldn't want to put that there. But your phone, I recommend you put a phone number there. You want people to reach you, include a phone. And your address, if it's applicable and safe. I have a P.O. box. It's written as an address, but I don't use it because it's not applicable to what I do. But it would be safe if I did. But I wouldn't recommend you ever put your home address on the internet anywhere. And you can put your email. This is where you can add another email address off of LinkedIn. You want to do that. You want people to contact you, okay? And this is where the Twitter. LinkedIn has a relationship with Twitter, so your Twitter handle would go in here. I have Margie Hansen. It's hard to see it there, but it's there. I don't have it synced, so it automatically, my posts go to Twitter, so I think that's why it's grayed out. But I do send my articles to Twitter. You can add Instant Messenger if you're into Instant Messenger. And your birthday, you always want your birthday. They don't include the year, but it's fun, and they let everyone know it's your birthday. So you get birthday greetings, and isn't that half of why we're online? I thought so. So anyway, then you apply. So that's the contact area. I recommend, even though okay, I'm just going to apply everything. Even though it's got this special section for contact information, I recommend you put it in your About section when you're talking at the end or wherever applicable as you write your About. Make it easy for people. They have to go and click to find your phone number. They've gotten that interested in you. Many won't. So put the phone number in the contact section, but also in your About section. Okay, so that's everything in this top section. And those of you who are back, you notice there's a change. Something's new. The About used to be called Summary, and it used to be in this top section. So it's now in a separate section. That just happened in the last couple weeks. And I took note of it, but I thought maybe I was missing something, but I finally realized it's a real change. And I wasn't crazy. And so the pencil here, it's kind of nice because it was a very tiny field. This is a little bit bigger. And see, these are some of the old days, summary. And this is where you fill in those 2,000 characters. So you don't have much to work with. What I do is I work with it on Word. And because Word has a lot of messy coding behind the surface of Word, I will create, and Word will do a character count for you, so you have an idea where you're at with your characters. And then I I just copy and paste it and put it in Notepad, which is like a bucket of rinse water. I just paste it in there, and then I immediately copy it, and all the Word coding that you don't see that's messy goes away. It's just clean text. Then I paste it in here, and I have to reformat it a little bit. Then I load it in there. If it doesn't save, you know you have too many characters. So when you go to save it, once you load it, and I'm going to show you a few tricks with spacing in a minute, but again, load it in there, and if you can't save it, it means you've got too many characters. And then you can also add media at the bottom of the About sections. You don't want a lot because people they'll be overwhelmed, but you want a few that complement. So I have my A to Z LinkedIn training. I have a video on one of my signature content creating, I think it's on content creating, messaging and online messaging trainings. And then just to show you a variety, this is a PDF. I'll show you when we get out of the edit mode. And you can load a PDF. You can also you get to give it a title, a description, all of these, a title, a description. And PDFs can be just loaded as PDFs, or you can upload them to SlideShare, make a SlideShare. Questions on that, leave it in the Facebook page. And this is just an image. This is just an image. It's a photo. And I just wanted to show you that you can just load a photo up there, which is applicable for some of your businesses, let alone a nice text image can be very simple. You can put resumes here if that's applicable, if you are looking for work that way. And you actually, when you go in here to the edit mode, if you want to see all your choices, suggested formats that you can put up here, a little link there, and all of this, okay? You have tons of things that you can put up there. You can put YouTube videos, Word, PowerPoint, and the LinkedIn, and the SlideShare. It can just be straight PowerPoint. All these choices, different image formats that are supported. GIF, but it doesn't support animation. It won't be animated if you do a GIF. And the size, and there you go, okay? So again, it's meant to enhance, not overwhelm. So, and some people will refer to see my full list of, see a list of testimonials below, if that's applicable for getting business. See a couple of my more recent paintings or my photos or my latest book. Or you can promote your latest book or talk about your latest book in the About section and put your books that you wrote prior to that and down below, because you have that description section where you can put a link in there. It won't be a live link, but it will be a link. Okay? So that is the About section. And happy to work with you on that. But again, share it with each other and get some feedback from each other. That'll give you the best input you could get, and also get some networking going with each other. And that's what's going to turn the key. So this is the key you send out there. This is what will turn the key, the About section. All right. So moving down, this is your dashboard that only you see. You get to see how many people viewed your profile. And in the free account, you can see the most recent 5 until it goes into the black hole where you never get to see them again unless you pay LinkedIn. And so you want to check this daily so you don't get miss who's looking at your profile. And it says, I'm up since last week by 38%. That's good. And the last 90 days, I've had 182 profile views. So you can look at each day and see what did I do that day? What did I post? What was going on? What would have made this day be this day versus this day? And you can stay on track with yourself that way. And you also get to see that on the home page. That's one of the areas I said when you log in, you want to look here and see if you've had more views of your profile. It's right there on the home page. Back to the profile. Okay. Below that section, this is public, your articles and your activities. So anything you do, if you publish an article, if you do a post, if you like somebody's a post, if you say happy birthday, it's all here. And if you click on see all activity, it filters. So you can see up to the top here. You can see articles and posts and then all activity. And all activity is if you like something, if you commented on something, if you shared something, if you said happy birthday. But the post is an official post and the articles is an official published article. And we're going to talk more about that in session 6 for seeing stats. So it's nice for you to go in and see. I'll check how long ago did I talk about this. Can I talk about it again? But for the visitor to your profile page, it lets them know how active you are right off the bat. Are you active on LinkedIn? And if you are, what do you talk about? What are your articles about? What are your posts about? What do you like? What is your activity? Is it daily? How often? And it represents your presence. It gives you online presence, and so you do need to create some online presence, and you do need to plan to do some posting, or you do need to publish an article from time to time. Not, the published articles are not getting their visibility like they used to. They might be changing that again. It goes in circles. So I'm not going to recommend you spend a lot of time doing published articles, but you need some so people know what you're thinking. And you need some activity, some posts that you do. If you're going to build relationships on LinkedIn and you're going to go after engagement and conversation, you need to provide some fodder as well, okay? So give people, and this is a great, you're going to learn next week, this is a great place to go to get something to talk about with strangers. A great place, especially, I won't go into it right now, but think about it. People want feedback. Don't you love to get feedback when you do a post? So this is where you can go to give people when you look at other people's profile, but this is where people are going to come to learn about you and hopefully give you that feedback too. So it's very important that you put out something that people can talk to you about, okay? So look at it that way. Experience. Okay, this is not your typical resume experience here, all right? People are going to come down to experience. If they get this far, they turn the key and they see you're active, they like your presence, they get down here, maybe they scroll right down to experience. But what you want to do here is let people know the nuts and bolts of what they've learned above. So you can, on your present position, you can dive into more of the details of what you do and let them know how you do it, more of the how. Then you can put, you want results up in the about section, but here you can expand on the how. And I have different services within what I do now, so I put each one in a different section. So I have a different headline, so more keywords. I'm a connection specialist. This is what I primarily do, but I'm also a strategist. So this talks about building strategies and implementing the strategy. One thing to create a strategy, another is about implementing it. Content and messaging developer, how we work with that. So the different areas of my work, LinkedIn trainer, and then I have one more as a speaker. These all are from the same time frame to present, okay? And you can, because I have these little horizontal lines, that means you can move a section, okay? So that's the present, and that's what shows up at the top under work experience where I work now. But in past work, you want to, again, let people know. I had sales rep here for my position with Cisco. And then as I learned what I was doing, this is many years ago when I started LinkedIn a long time ago, but they wanted, what did I do? What was my work there? So I was a Fortune 500 sales consultant. I want to work with large companies as well as small companies. I want them to know I have experience in the large company environment. I was a designer of communication networks, lead generator. Okay, so I got the sales consultant, it was consultant sales. So I got that up front, but also I added to it more keywords, more connectivity with whoever's looking to see what my experience is. Then I talk about not what I did there, but what I got there to apply to what I'm doing now. And I learned voice and data network design and sales, but I was part of the first team of salespeople. But here I learned listening, presentations, components of decision making and converting. And that's what I do today. But I got a lot of learning experience and seasoned experience at my time with Cisco, or during my time at Cisco. And then down here is a conglomeration of many of my companies don't exist anymore. It's such a rapidly growing industry. But I did put the name of one that many people knew, TimeNet. And here, what I gained here, a long career, and down below, so I name a few of the companies just in case, but consulting, sales, orchestration, and team playing is what I learned in those basic early sales days, okay? And that's what I bring to the table today. So you want to put your past work experience, if it contributes to today. If you did car washing for a summer, it's not like a resume. You don't need to they're not looking here to justify your time, or you can have gaps, and it's just whatever you did that gave you something that you're using today that's making you be a better provider of what you do today because of that experience. That's what you want to put there, okay? And then below that, your education, I recommend you put that there because there's a wonderful alumni tool that I'm going to show you tomorrow, and will help you with your alumni. And the school has to be in the database. You can't add a new school. Most schools are, though. But people look for their schoolmates. I'm connected with my high school on Facebook. I've reconnected with people I never would have reconnected with. And I haven't looked for them on LinkedIn for them, but I'm going to start. So you're going to learn about searching next week. Makes it easy how to do that. License and certifications, again, this is pretty cool. I didn't have any, and taking classes, but I wasn't certified. But if you go to the LinkedIn Learning, I took some classes when they opened it up for free over the holidays, and the classes are great. And at the end, they automatically, if you approve, put you in with certifications. So I approved one, and I thought this was very cool. So that's just a little secret there. If you want some certifications on your profile page, go over to LinkedIn Learning, get that free month, and go to town. They're short little sessions, so you can finish and come back and do what you want. But they will put the certification here. So love it. When you open it up, it's got all these different fields here, so you can expand if you have some that are not from LinkedIn Learning. And volunteer experience, again, put what it is. I had started with the Boosters Association. If anything, you would think PTA, I think, or sports something. But it's a police student cadet program fundraising organization. And so you just put it out there so people know. This can be the reason somebody wants to know you, is not what you do, but what you're involved in, what your outside life is about. I connected with somebody, nothing appealed to me, and then I saw she managed a golf course, and I said, oh, that would be interesting. So that's that's why I reached out to her, and it's a starting point. I also had Airport Marine Counseling Service. That doesn't say much. Mental Health Clinic, Board of Advisors, and I should put Community Mental Health Clinic because that's bigger. I got to change that. So be clear, remove all need for the person to think, because that might be why they want to know you, okay? And if they don't want to use your business, they might know a slew of people who could, okay? And because you have this shared interest, they want to refer you. They want to support your business. That's how it works. Okay, below that are skills and endorsements. These are, it has the capacity in this section to have 50 skills and endorsements. Keywords, keywords, keywords. If you want to be authentic with your endorsement of people, you can go to people's profile and endorse them, and like I would be notified, and it's a nice way to stay in front of somebody. It's a nice thing to do. If it's honest. If it's not honest, I saw a discussion on this on LinkedIn in one of the groups I'm in, and no, it takes points away from you. I'll have a lot of new connections that will immediately after we connect, they go in and do these endorsements, and I'm going, okay, thanks, I get your point. You want to make me, you want to boost me, and you're thinking you're doing good things. You don't know me, and so it's not a legit endorsement if you take it seriously. So again, it's not, removing all need to think, but it's causing gray, and you don't want to cause gray. You want to be honest. You want to be authentic. So if you can give an authentic endorsement, go ahead. You can also you used to be able to add to somebody's. I'm not sure you can do that anymore. I have to check that out. But if you notice, you can add your own. This is where you'd add your own, and I recommend you add them before. It helps LinkedIn suggest people for you and know how it's one of the factors in responding on your search results in LinkedIn. So I recommend you put them in there and make it clear for LinkedIn. But they will assign you one of three areas. It can be industry knowledge, whatever you use, tools and techniques, or interpersonal skills or other skills. LinkedIn will assign them the area. And at least that's how it was last time I added one. Again, things change on LinkedIn all the time. But that's where you would add a new skill. Here at the top, it's got 7 people who know marketing strategy. I've actually got 60 endorsements, but 7 people also were endorsed for the same skill. 11 people were endorsed for content marketing that endorsed me. So it's like peer mutual. These people know what they're talking about is the idea. And when you click it open, you see their photos. You don't see photos of I don't think you see photos of the other endorsers. I think it's only the ones who share the same. Nope, they're all there. Okay. So look at all these people. This is a great source. Pay attention to this for next week. A great source of people to reach out to. They can be, they have to be your connection, first layer connection to endorse, because LinkedIn is saying they know you. But how nice of them. I don't know a lot of my first layer, and so they endorse me falsely. But again, it's a reason to reach out, and we'll talk again more about that next week. But you want to fill it out, okay? And then one last section, this little pencil here. After you add your skills, they're all listed here. And let me just test this and see if you can move it from, let me put strategy. Let me see if I can move strategy down to, no, it won't let me move it into tools and technologies. No. All right, so what you've got here is you can choose the 3 at the top. And if you want to change that, you unpin one to make room for another one. And you just hit the pin and it will pop up there automatically. Over here on the right is where you can remove one if you're running out of space or you just want to remove one. And here, these horizontal lines, this is where you can change the order. I might, down here, I might want to put blogging up on the top. Okay, so now blogging is first, then marketing. Okay, so you move it there, and then you can save it. Okay, when you open these up, I think you can say, let's see, if I go to marketing and you see who, yeah, you can you don't have to have them visible. You can hide them. You just change this little setting here. And if I don't want people to know Amy Wilkinson endorsed me, I can turn it off. Okay. You can't remove it, but you can turn it, you can keep it from showing. Okay. So that's skills and endorsements. Coming down below that are your typical recommendations, testimonials, and you can ask people for a recommendation. You click on this little link here, and it's a form you fill out, and they'll say, you know, which part of your work experience did you know this person, and you can follow it through. And then you send a message, and I recommend when you're asking for a recommendation, you tell the person exactly what you want them to talk about, not what they say, but talk about the project we worked on together. And remember at the end when we were trying to get it, meet the deadline, you know, can you say something about how I handled that? That would be great. You'll get it back much faster, okay? And also the best way to get a recommendation is to give a recommendation, and we're going to talk about how you do that next week. Okay, so this pencil here is where you can go in. Anyone who gives you a recommendation, it's sent to you, and you can authorize it to be published or not. You don't have, you know, you have control over what's shown there. It's not like, it's not like what's that online site that shows the negative reviews. But anyway, no, you have full control of it, and you can even say, they can send it to you and you can ask for a revision because it comes back in this form that LinkedIn uses. So you can ask for a revision, and I've had that happen. Can you change this? Can you tweak that? And sure. And then you choose to show it or not show. Okay, so it's really good. So that's recommendations. And then down below that are your accomplishments. Excuse me. And I'm going to show you the whole list that you can choose from. I have organizations. So again, don't just use letters, spell it out, and then write about what they do. And my sorority from school is there, in the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. Some of you are on here, fellow Holistic members. Hello. I'm president of the Manhattan Beach chapter. And a course I took, I'm a competent Toastmaster. So that was a course, which is different from the certification. So there's something in here for just about anything. And I'll, again, show you in a moment all the choices. And LinkedIn just makes them be these different sections. It's very nice. Below that, and last on this side of the page, are interests. And I mentioned that when I gave you the review. It's all combined here, but if you hit See All, you will have your influences, people that I'm following that have reached levels of success that LinkedIn refers to them as influencers, companies that I follow, groups that I belong to, seeing what groups, people can come and see what groups I belong to, or I can access my groups here one way, there's multiple ways, and schools that I follow. And I'm not sure why I'm following these schools. LinkedIn kind of did it to me. I went to University of Massachusetts Amherst, so I want to follow that one, but the others were in there by default, and I just haven't gotten rid of them. So that's the interest section. And let's see, for your that happens automatically, so don't worry, you're not going to fill that out when you do your profile page. That's going to automatically fall into place there. And you'll learn how as we go forward with these classes. Up at the top on the right, you've got edit your public profile and URL. What is that? These little question marks. See how, and edit how you look to people who are not signed in and find you through search engines. Okay, Bing. I didn't know if it went to Bing or not, but yeah, this page is indexed in Google and Bing. Not sure about Yahoo, but it's definitely Google and Bing, which is good to know. Okay, so we open this up, and this is my profile page, okay, and over here on the right, not at the top, I'm going to come back to here, but edit content. To edit its sections, update your profile, and this takes us back to right where we were, okay, but this is for visibility, okay, I want it to be seen, it's on, but now down below here, this is where I can restrict what they see. Can they see my connections? Can they see my network? I'm sorry, this is your profile's public visibility. Basic is required. Only LinkedIn members could connect with me, to me. Only LinkedIn members connected up to 3 degrees away from you. I'm not sure. I just say go basic, okay? I think, oh, this is your profile photo. Who do you want to see your photo? So people might be more protective of their headshot. So check that out. That's a little bit confusing. But that's for your photo. But down here is where I'm going. This is where you can choose which pieces of the profile page after you fill it out are available to the public. So I have it all. I let it loose. If I run into problems, then I'll start restricting. But you might have reason to keep some things off from the public Google listing, so you can control it there. You can also put a badge on your website that shows your LinkedIn, and you can click that open and get the code for whoever does the coding on your site. And up here, though, you want to go here and edit your custom URL. And this means instead of linkedin.com/ all these googly characters, you can have this be, it should be your name, because it's your personal business brand. I created this URL long before there was a company page available on LinkedIn, and so I made it be my business today's way. And I have a lot of printed information out there that still uses, this is how they would get to my LinkedIn profile. And until that fades out a little bit more, I don't want to change it to my name. But if this is where you would do it, so when you meet someone, you can just say, I'm on LinkedIn, IN/ Margie Hansen would be what I would say. And so it's very easy for people to remember your link and that you're on LinkedIn, and that they put in your name, it's going to come up. Okay, so you want to do that and make sure that's done. Okay, so let's see. I think we covered everything. Oh no, there's one more section on the profile down here on the right. Okay. Oh, two things. Okay, so up here, over here, I'm a little confused. So exciting. They changed this. Oh, now it's over here. Okay, this makes more sense. It used to be down there and it wouldn't stay open. You can add a profile section here. And what is that more? Okay. Oh, this is good. You can share the profile and you can save it to PDF. So that's very handy for you to know. So you could share this to somebody else in LinkedIn, your profile, if you're speaking. I'm going to share my profile with you. Okay. You can send them the link or you can share it. So it's right there. And you can save to a PDF. I don't know what the formatting's like on that, but it would be interesting to see. So you can do that. You can add the profile section. Okay, so the intro we've got, the background, work experience, education. I've added all those, license and certifications. I've got one entry. Volunteer experience. I have 2 volunteer experiences on my profile. Okay, I could add more if I wanted to. Okay, so this is where I would add another one. Add. I have 1 license. Add. Skills. I talked about those. Those are the 50. Accomplishments. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. You have publications. You have patents, courses, projects, honors and awards, test scores, languages, organizations. And they all show up as different sections on your profile page. So it's just so easy for people to get recognition for these little things that usually get lost in a paragraph of text. And they just make room for them. I just love LinkedIn. And down here, additional information. What was that? What happened to it? Request a recommendation. I've asked, okay, so I think I can generate one there. And languages supported, no, went away. English. I don't want to change my language, but it does, it should tell, oh, here we go. Add profile in another language. Add the above sections in other languages to make finding it easier. And if we clicked on that, you can choose the language, and they do all, look at all the languages they support. Wow, okay. So, it covers you no matter where you travel in the world or whatever group you're trying to talk to. But there's more down here on the bottom right. This is another thing. When you scroll down on the profile page, this is going to pop up at the top. It's got your headline, and then it's got add profile section. Okay, that headline shows up everywhere. But this is another way to access what we just looked at. Okay. But down here on the right, people also viewed. When we get to settings, you can turn this off if you want. But right now, it's people who came to your profile page, and it shows them who other visitors to your profile page, who they also visited besides you. Okay, so could it be your competition? It could be. You're going to see them, so you'll know if it's your competition or not. I'm pleased as punch to have her be one, because she's just one of my most favorite people on LinkedIn that I've met. through engagement and conversation. She immigrated here and has a fantastic story, and now is just breaking records as a consultant for the C-suite based on sports. So she has a book about her story, and I met her when she was just first writing it, and just great. So I'm happy to have her be associated with me in any way. But yeah, you can say, I don't know why a truck driver at USA Truck would be associated with what I do. That throws me off a little bit. They should have something in common with you, which would be why the person would be looking at both types of profile pages. But it's another way. I've never really seen any direct competition, and it's just another way to find interesting people. And you'll learn next week another way to open up doors to connect with them if they seem like somebody that you would like to connect with. So that's what's over there on the bottom right. So lots of things to fill out and think about. Primarily this headline, happy to help you with that, and your about section. Happy to see what you come up with there, do some tweaks, but I'd love you to share it with each other and get feedback from each other. So that said, let me see who's here. And hopefully there's several of you, and we can see if you have questions. So let me go to, I still don't know if you guys see when I go into the page here. I know you see what this wall. I don't know if you see when I go into the controls, but we won't be there long. I'm going to unmute everybody just to make it easy. And maybe I'm going to unmute everybody. You can, oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Anybody out there that has a question? Comment?
Margie, this is Elizabeth. This is great information. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. You see the new change on the About section?
I see that, yes.
Yeah. Elizabeth is a repeater. And she brought Michael. I don't know if Michael's here, but she referred Michael, who's new. So welcome, Michael, if you're there. Okay. Well, all right. So you're going to get the link to the Facebook group if you haven't joined with the recordings. So hop in there, and you can always ask a question there. I will send out the recordings. And Elizabeth knows that you can also reach me directly too, right, Elizabeth?
That's correct. Yes.
I want you all to learn LinkedIn. It's a wonderful, it gets better and better each time I go in and teach it, and so it can do wonders. If you, that relationship, keep building relationships in mind. And next week we're gonna do contact connections and the email system, and you'll learn some ways to reach out to people and start building those relationships. So till then, be good. I'll look for you on Facebook, and if I don't see you before, I'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.